chosen to not allow you to drag me into your drama, and no one's ever told you no before because you're pretty, and then therefore now you're freaked out. Like then they'll be like, oh, this guy's a narcissist.
Let's go with, oh, my good friend. You're a good friend too.
Women come to me all the time.
No, they don't.
Men do it too, but mainly women. And they're like, why do I keep attracting this guy? I've been dating this guy. Like, I broke up with this guy, and then I date the same guy. I broke up with a cheater. I'm dating another cheater. I broke up with a narcissist. I'm dating another narcissist. I'm dating somebody just like my dad, right? I have a red flag over my head. Tell me what's wrong with me, right? And I'm like, oh, nothing's wrong with you. It's just what you're entertaining, because that dude did the same thing to you and a healthy woman, but that healthy woman didn't entertain it because she was like, that, no way. And you were like, I'll give it a go. And that's the difference. That's the harsh reality of this. These people will pick anybody, you know. It's just what you entertain that you have to look for. And what you entertain is often a reflection of how you feel about yourself.
I don't disagree with her, but what the part that I think that, like the context I think she's missing.
Getting back to your cheating
topic. Is that often what happens is when these women are talking about this, there's other attributes to the guy that made him attractive. His height, his ethnicity, his facial structure, his wealth, his charisma. There's other things that made him attractive, which caused her to look past these red flags. But the thing is, if she looked past the red flags, then that means other women also look past the red flags. And what'll happen is they'll be like, oh, well, I'm dating a cheater. No, what you're doing, honestly, often is you're dating a dude who's in extremely high demand. And you keep going from one after another. And that's the thing that I found is that really attractive women, instead of going and finding a good man, like what she said, what you'll tolerate, instead of finding a good man, they keep ignoring the good man for the man who is better looking and has more things going for him, who's in that top 5%, but he's more likely to cheat. And I think that's the part of context, that's the piece of context that Jamie's missing, is that often when these women are like, I'm only going to settle for a man who's 6'3" or makes X amount of money, when you do so, I'll show you the stats that show that they are more likely to cheat on you. You say, well, he's a narcissist. Sometimes men cheat and they're not narcissists. I don't know if you ladies know that. Sometimes women cheat and they're not psychopaths. Sometimes people just cheat. That's what happens. But the point is, my friend CJ Sparks, one time, her and I were going to the Maxim party, and we were talking about her inability to find a great guy. And I looked at her and I'm like, we're at the fucking Maxim party. We're in the VIP. Nothing but douchebags get up here. No, like good guys don't even know how to get a ticket to come in the Maxim party. We're at the Playboy Mansion. Good guys aren't coming to the dudes here all have 700 body counts. What are you doing? Why are you saying? And because women keep getting in this situation, because those guys, they have the most game, the fastest Lamborghini, they have the six-pack abs, they're the most charismatic because they go on the most dates with the most women. The guy who's really good on the job interview, you know why he's good on the job interview? Because he keeps getting fired, right? He keeps getting fired over and over again. That's why he's really good. And so they do this over and over again, and the women don't recognize. She's just talking about these guys will go for anyone. No, having those traits, they actually can acquire or they can attract more attractive women. And so they'll consistently do that. It's just what the women will do is they'll see some attribute that outweighs the red flag that they could see if they gave a normal dude a chance, which they aren't, because women find 80% of men to be below average attractiveness.
Right, which is why they want to the Tinder swindler.
Yep.
Do you like bad boys or good guys?
I used to like bad boys, and now I like good men.
Good men?
Yeah. I think bad boys is something every girl goes through. Once you become a woman, you want a good man.
Saf, don't you think it'd be hard to date you?
Absolutely.
Can we be real? Like, we've been friends for 12 years. Like, you don't think it'd be kind of hard to date you?
Why do you think it'd be hard to date me,
I mean,
Michael?
it's like, hey, what are you doing this week? I'm going to go Johnny Sins. Okay, cool. Do you want to go have coffee on Monday?
That's new, though. Okay, that's new. That's
no, I mean now. I mean, Dad, you don't think it might be like a little bit harder to date you?
But I'm not looking to date anybody right now.
Okay, but if some dude wanted to date you, do you think it might be a little harder to date you now?
I don't want anyone to date me that's not going to be understanding.
Not going to be understanding.
Yeah, that's going to be the wrong person for me. And who says, I don't know how long I'm going to do this or what, but right now I know I'm in a point in my life I don't want to date. And that's why I'm okay with this.
Totally understand. I'm just saying from the outside looking in, you don't see how maybe this is kind of you look like a minefield in Afghanistan in 1983 with red flags everywhere. You don't see that maybe?
And they just keep running in.
Yeah, just keep running and get blown up.
Chloe,
losing a leg.
Do you like bad boys or what's your type?
I don't like bad boys.
No? What's your past like? Bad boys?
I was actually married, so
a bad boy. Talking to the mic.
I've had my experience, so I want a good man.
Was he a bad boy?
Yeah, he cheated.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys, ladies, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, for instance, just consider if all of a sudden there was a guy named Harold Little when I was in junior high. One time when we were 13 years old, we came out when we were junior high, and the guy dunked a basketball. We were like, holy f***. It's like one of the kids in our class was the first one to dunk a basketball. What do you think he did after he dunked the basketball? Do you think he went to church? What do you think he did?
Dunked a girl.
He kept dunking that basketball every day at lunch for like the rest of the year, and everybody sat there and watched him do it. So what do you think happens the first time a guy dates a playmate? Do you think he just sits there and is like, well, I dated a playmate, that's it for me, I'm not going to try anymore? What do you think he does? You just said it about the medium ugly.
I know, but it's the same as your analogy with a girl Drake.
Yeah, no, it is.
That's her status. Like, this is her bar.
Agreed. But my point is, when women are like, I keep dating guys who cheat, no, it's what's happened is you found a guy who has a superpower, and then you can't see the red flag through green eyes or the Australian accent, the tattoo sleeves, the six-pack abs, the Lamborghini, or whatever else it is. You can't see the red flags through that. And so because or you got digmatized,
this
whatever it is.
Sounds hot.
Hillary is chomping at the bit to answer this one.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, Hillary, bad boys. Talking to the mic.
All about bad boys, duh. You know me. Guidos.
She likes these Guidos. Of course she likes bad boys.
They have to have... Even the people who I work with at the pool, they're like, damn, Hills, like, you got a fucking type. Like, has to have tattoos. They're like roid monkeys, this and that. But they're literally the shittiest men on this earth. And I'm like, why the fuck am I going for you? And I know you're getting your dick by 20 other girls.
Time out. But you just mentioned why you found them attractive, right?
Because of their...
Whatever the reason is. You're a perfect example of what I'm saying. You see the attractive thing, but the difference is you're actually enlightened enough to recognize that they still have red flags, and you still go out with them.
And they're still narcissistic, and I'm like, wait, maybe I'm the problem.
No, you're not the problem. I've dated guys like
'Cause
that,
I'm toxic
and the bald loser that doesn't look like that.
But if you go to my house...
They're the same.
If you go to my house, you'd be like, oh, she has 150,000 Starbucks cups. Like, I actually have to show for her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't need you guys or these types of men.
Is that how we count wealth now? Is Starbucks cups? I'm confused.
But you know what though? Starbucks.
Because you've been places.
No. Wait, Starbucks.
I know what you're talking about.
Because I'm about to have a pop-up shop. I'm about to make 10 grand off of it. Watch. Don't blame me with this Starbucks cup. Right here.
Naomi, good guys or bad guys?
Good guys. I want a good guy. I want a traditional relationship.
Have you ever dated a bad guy?
Bad boys.
No.
They've all been great guys.
No.
They've all been good.
So why'd you break up?
What happened?
In some scenarios, I was cheated on.
Okay.
In some scenarios, we just didn't see eye to eye on certain things that we couldn't move past.
You don't regret breaking up with any of them, though?
No.
Okay.
And I don't have any harsh feelings towards any of my exes.
Sure.
So.
Things we couldn't move past. You not being a bad boy.
No, I don't like bad boys, actually. And going back to, like, the whole dating thing, I think we all raise our hands, all the women in here, of, like, okay, we either have gone on a date or know someone who's gone on a date who didn't have any intentions of having sex with people. And I think that's not always a bad thing, because I think that's a good scenario to get to know someone that maybe you wouldn't have given a chance otherwise. And that's kind of how I've dated people in the past.
Sure. Got it.
I like that, yeah.
It's like a little different perspective, not so negative.
And then, like, some girls, too, like, they'll wait around for 3 months, and if the guy's not going to stick around, then get f***ed. Like, bye. You know what I mean? Like, because then they only wanted one thing, was to fucking to f*** you.
Exactly.
Like, sometimes the girl has to, like, put a certain amount of ground down in order for the guy to stick around.
To see who they are.
To see who the f*** they actually are, and if you're
all right,
boy,
Kirsty.
I know.
Speaking the mic.
I'm like on the fence because, like, I also like to do weird. I kind of need a bad boy.
What's weird
Live
though?
with me.
What's weird?
I know, yeah, please
Can you enlighten us? Because I think we like to do weird
describe this weird I've told you a bunch of weird I've done. So please.
I like to be adventurous. I don't know.
In what way, love?
What does that mean?
Because you're gonna start like
For example, I love going to a really nice 5-star restaurant on a date.
That's not adventurous at all.
I'll take you to a
adventurous.
5-star restaurant.
Afterward, let's go to Rhino and let's go in the back room and let's have the 2 of the hottest strippers in the
Okay,
club.
let's do that because
Come
I
on
used
with
to work
us.
there.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm into that, but you need a bad boy for that. A good guy is not into that. A good guy is like, no, you're my wife, like the 22-year-old with the 26-year-old. I don't need anybody else because I married that. type of guy that would never step foot in a strip club because he was a good guy.
What is wrong with this dude?
No, but if he's
What
a
is
good
wrong
guy or a
with this
bad guy, he can still be a good guy and still step into a strip
Naomi,
club.
you didn't
I
want
know,
to
but there
disagree
are
on the
men
write-up?
that are morally not like that.
So you could
That
have
are
a
just
good guy that's
morally
also
not
a little
like that.
freaky. Like it. I don't
But
think that
yeah,
makes him a
freaky.
bad
Yeah,
guy.
exactly. I think being freaky
What do you
doesn't.
what do you mean by freaky?
Like doing crazy shit like that. Like
A man having a threesome is not freaky for a man.
Five-star restaurant.
Fantasy. That's a fantasy.
But doing like spontaneous things.
Yeah, I think what defines a good guy is their character,
Yes, that's what I'm
not
saying.
what they choose to do for fun.
But then
Yeah.
they also, in the same sense, like the 22-year-old with the 26-year-old, don't even see that as interesting. They're like, I have my woman, I have my wife. Why would I go step foot in a strip club?
Trust me, that dude right there is going to end up in my coaching program or someone else's. I promise you right now.
That's why I'm divorced. No.
It's endearing. That little boy, that was endearing. I thought that was so cute.
Yeah, but you guys don't want to have sex with him, so what does it matter?
I was 23, getting married to a 22.
And maybe he doesn't have social media where other can actually hit the guy up.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the
Yeah,
day,
because they're totally gonna hit him up after that.
Oh, good.
you don't
Good.
know.
Sammy's
They're
back.
totally gonna feel bad for him and hit him
There's
up.
vulnerable ass. You will go suck
Sammy,
and fuck
Sammy,
his
bad
dick.
boys?
No.
No? Why?
No, they're not good for you. That's why. I just think that
you
you
need
can
an older
foresee
guy.
the future. You can foresee the future with the bad boy.
Or no future.
Exactly.
What if the bad guy is like 31 years old and has owns an exotic car dealership?
What's the definition of a bad boy, though?
Tinder
See,
swindler.
so it's so funny because like, if you're going to say it like from a woman's standpoint, they're going to be like, oh, he's a narcissist or he lies or whatever. If you say from a man's standpoint, it might be a guy who like I've been called a bad boy before because I maintain masculine boundaries. She wanted to start a fight with me, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. That's fine. You can leave if you want. And they're like, you're such an asshole. I'm like, no. What's happened is I've chosen to not allow you to drag me into your drama, and no one's ever told you no before because you're pretty, and then therefore now you're freaked out. Like then they'll be like, oh, this guy's a narcissist. I mean, I'm not a narcissist. I take care of cats. Like if you want to call me a narcissist, you can. But the problem is a lot of times, and by the way, Jamie Lynn of all people, we were the ones who they were talking about this. Like women call men narcissists way more often than they're actually narcissists. That means you guys don't know what that term actually means. Well, I've said this before. If a woman cheats, that doesn't mean she has BPD. And if a man cheats, it doesn't mean he's a narcissist. There are men who cheat because they aren't getting sex in a relationship, and there's women who cheat because they don't feel safe or for whatever reason in a relationship, and that doesn't mean they have a cluster B personality disorder. We abuse that way too much.
And there's narcissists that don't cheat.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. You know why? You know why they don't cheat? They probably do it because they want to maintain the high ground in the argument. They can't lose the argument. It's like, well, I didn't cheat on you. You know, maybe that's why they do it. I don't know.
Well, it's a way of mate retention as well, too. I think a lot of what women diagnose is like, oh, he's a narcissist. No, it's that guy trying to keep you.
Big syndrome.
To keep you big syndrome, but also trying to keep you, like trying to say, well, I need to step up my game a little bit and let her know that I'm the prize. Like I'm of a higher caliber and higher value. And if she wants to cheat, if she wants to leave the relationship, she's going to have a really tough time trying to replace a badass like me.
Totally.
Whether that's real or not is sort of immaterial to that presence. Go ahead.
That's how women feel when we like are financially secure, and then a man starts cheating, acting up, and we're just like, we don't need you, we're gonna leave. But that doesn't make us a narcissist. That's just like, why would we put up with this? But I feel like the only person at this table that has real relationship advice is you, the person that's lasted 27 years.
Yeah. Not to hear anyone at Daily Wire tell it.
Fuck.